Is the real problem here, Jerry, that Rishi Sunak is a brown man and you don't trust him at the top of this country?
Well, could you imagine him going to the Scottish Nationalists and being the Prime Minister of the Scottish Nationalists? Could you imagine me becoming the Prime Minister of Pakistan or Saudi Arabia? No, these things matter. I'm sorry you don't like it, but this is predominantly, we're talking about England, right? 85% of the English people, yes, are white English people, and they want to see a Prime Minister that reflects them. It's like, if I can't just go to India and be the president there, can I?
You are suggesting a couple of things here. One, that you can only be English if you're white, and the thing that stops you voting for Rishi Sunak is the colour of his skin.
Hi, a great show, by the way.
Thank you.
Let me just say first, I am a Tory party member, and my dad was a constituency chairman, and we support Boris, and I'd say, in my estimate, 80% of the members support Boris. So that's where we're at.
Before this goes any further, it's worth naming what's actually happening here, because Jerry could have saved us all nearly 7 minutes and just said from the jump, I won't vote for him because he's brown. The dance was unnecessary. What this debate was actually about is what British is allowed to mean. And who gets to decide that? Not his initial claim of Boris loves England, since some would strongly argue Boris Johnson only ever loved Boris. So watch how the goalposts move here. Birthplace isn't enough, school isn't enough, even a British passport isn't enough. And every single fact offered up in Rishi Sunak's defense gets acknowledged and then quietly set aside so we can move on to the next objection. And that pattern, I want to stress, it's a pattern, not proven intent. Tends to reveal a lot more about what's underneath an argument than the argument itself does. It's also worth remembering that this call happened while the Conservative membership was actively choosing between Sunak and his rivals for the leadership. Which means this is more than just one caller's opinion. It's a live sample of the electorate that would actually decide.
And our perspective is different to, the media perspective, the markets. Both my daughters work in the city. There's a lot of AI algorithms coming from abroad, tampering with the markets. Now, we can't let the markets and the media run our country. It's a democracy. We are the voters, and we support Boris. So we want Boris back, and Boris has the best chance of winning the general election next time. So Rishi's not going to win it. Rishi's not even British, in most people's opinion. He's not. He's got American allegiance. His family's American. They're Indian business people. He'll go and live in America, no doubt. He doesn't love England like Boris does.
Okay, Jerry, to my knowledge, Rishi Sunak was born in the UK. He went to Winchester School, which, as you know, is a long-established public school in this country. As I understand it, he was born at Southampton General Hospital.
Well, can I just say, one of my mates, I was in the military, one of my mates was born in Uganda. He's white as the driven snow, and he's English as English can be. He's not African, is he? Because he's born in Uganda. That doesn't mean anything.
No, sorry, I'm just picking up I'm just picking up on the fact that you suggested that Rishi Sunak isn't British or English and doesn't love the country as much as Boris Johnson as a result. So I just want to clarify that with you, that he was born in this country, that he went to one of the country's most prestigious public schools, that he has worked, of course, in the city and then took up politics, that he is the man that many people credit through the furlough scheme, saved the economy. And you don't think that proves that he's British?
Holds a green card. His wife and the family business, their fortune. His wife. Hang on.
He's relinquished the green card, first of all.
True.
And quite rightly.
He had to relinquish it. His wife is not British. She holds American citizenship.
He himself is a British citizen, isn't he?
Okay, lots of people are. Half of Al Qaeda are British citizens. You don't understand how.
I'm so sorry. Can I just be very clear here? Because I just want to be clear that I've actually heard you correctly. Have you just likened Rishi Sunak, the former Chancellor and possibly the next Prime Minister, to a member of Al Qaeda?
So maybe I'm just saying, having a British passport doesn't mean you're a true English patriot who loves England. Boris loves England, and Rishi Sunak will be decimated if he leads the Tories into the election. I'm just telling you what Tory voters believe. He will be decimated. He didn't even get barely 40% of Tory members, let alone the electorate. He'll get about 20% of the electorate.
You are aware that Boris de Pfeffel Johnson was born in New York, aren't you?
That's what I'm saying. You can be born anywhere. You know that. It's how your allegiance lies to the country. I said one of my best mates was born in Uganda.
What do you expect? I'm absolutely fascinated here. What do you expect Rishi Sunak, former Chancellor, British citizen, someone educated in this country, someone credited with saving thousands of businesses through furlough, someone who has dedicated his life, according to many of his backers, 100 of them, 100 MPs now. What more would you like to see him do to prove his Britishness to you, Jerry? What would it take?
Well,
what is the final thing that you think will make him British? And British enough precisely for Tory members like you to vote for him?
Well, his family are still, their money and their taxes are still in India and America for a start. So you can ignore that if you want. That's
actually
fine.
Since the scandal, his wife, as I understand it, has given up her non-dom status and will be paying tax. Her tax affairs have been regularised. So we've just removed two of your main concerns, which is where was he born, the fact he's got a British passport. We've also now dealt with the issue that he's relinquished his green card, and his wife has now regularised her tax affairs. What else does he need to... Now, we've dealt with all of those things, Jerry. What I'd like to know is, because you say that you represent the average Tory member, what I'd like to know is, what do you think Rishi Sunak needs to do to prove his Britishness to the point where you believe Tory members would vote for him?
I don't doubt he's British, don't get me wrong.
You said he doesn't... Hang on. You said he doesn't love his country.
England.
He doesn't love England.
His family, his business, they seem to be globalists. They don't seem to love England. And you point out the furlough. Well, we actually see it differently. He gave away £400 billion and practically bankrupted our economy over the idiotic furlough payment.
He did not bankrupt the economy. That's factually incorrect. He did not bankrupt the economy. Also, may I ask you, hang on, Jerry, as we carry on through, this is very important, Jerry, as we carry on this conversation, please don't use the phrase globalist again, because many of my Jewish listeners will find that incredibly offensive, because it has also been used at times as a racist put down to the Jewish community. So carry on, Jerry. If you wouldn't mind answering...
That's not true. I don't mean Jewish. If I meant Jewish, I'd say Jewish.
I did not...
is somebody who has international...
Jerry, once more, I'm going to give you one more chance. I have explained to you that many members of the Jewish community are offended by that phrase. Please do not use it. Please answer my question. You say that you represent the average Tory party member. You say they did not vote for Rishi Sunak because he does not love England in the way that Boris Johnson loves England. Please answer my question. What do you think Rishi Sunak could do to prove his love of the country, Jerry?
Nothing, because he will lose 80% to 20% if he stands in any vote against the electorate.
Is the real problem here, Jerry, that Rishi Sunak is a brown man and you don't trust him at the top of this country?
Well, could you imagine him going to the Scottish Nationalists and being the Prime Minister of the Scottish Nationalists? Could you imagine me becoming the Prime Minister of Pakistan or Saudi Arabia? No, these things matter. I'm sorry you don't like it, but this is predominantly, we're talking about England, right? 85% of the English people, yes, are white English people, and they want to see a Prime Minister that reflects them. It's like, I can't just go to India and be the president there, can I?
So just to be really clear here, Jerry, you, and as a self-appointed representative of Tory party members, because you say that your father was one, you are one, I don't know if your daughters are, you are suggesting a couple of things here. One, that you can only be English if you're white, and the thing that stops you voting for Rishi Sunak, should the decision go out to the membership, the thing that would stop you and other Tory party members voting for Rishi Sunak is the colour of his skin. Have I understood that correctly?
No, you completely twisted it. What I said is...
I don't think I have twisted it.
You have twisted it. Oh, well, let me tell you what I think. My reason for not backing Rishi is that he destroyed our economy in the COVID crisis.
I think you're losing this argument, Jerry. I think you are fundamentally a racist. And it's absolutely fascinating to me to hear that you and other Tory party members think like this. And do you know what? I think we're going to turn this into a phone-in tomorrow. Why don't we do that? Why don't we open the phone lines? Because I'd be very interested, Jerry, to hear from more people like you. Joey in Lowest.
What makes this exchange worth remembering isn't the shouting, it's the pattern underneath it. Jerry never quite says the thing directly. He circles it. Furlough, green cards, tax status, globalist ties, love of country, and each explanation collapses under scrutiny. So each time, a new one takes its place. That's not really an argument. It's a search for one, and it matters beyond this one caller, because leadership contests inside political parties are rarely decided by the loudest voices in Westminster. They're decided by members, in rooms like the one Jerry claims to speak for. Within months of this call, the membership did make its choice, and it wasn't Sunak. Whether Jerry's reasoning had anything to do with that outcome is impossible to prove, but the instincts on display here weren't confined to one caller on one phone in. What lingers isn't the insult, or the Al-Qaeda line, or even the accusation of racism. It's the moment Jerry says he doesn't doubt Sunak is British, and then spends the rest of the call explaining, in increasingly specific terms, exactly why he doesn't trust him. Sometimes the clearest answer to a question is the one a person gives without meaning to.